somehow I always expected that when I grow older, I would become somebody cynical. I used to be really like black and white and very rational and very, realistic in general when I was younger. And I've also been given a lot of tough things to to go through recently, with a failed business in the last years, with some challenges with people, some trauma, some, like being unemployed, having finances not working in the right way. And I've been thrown a lot at. And still lately as well, just the last few months has been like a lot of things not moving, a lot of things moving in the wrong direction, a significant amount of stress for specific situation, some that I put on myself as well. I will take ownership for that. But yet I was reflecting recently that actually I am chill about it, like stressed but chill in general for whatever is going to happen. It's like I feel a shift compared to how I would have handled it in the past. In the past I would have been trying to control things. I would have been like really, really focusing on a lot of thoughts that are not serving me. And in this recent month, I've been like surprisingly calm about things, or able to calm myself down and really reframe things in a way that feels very different. Like I know that something is about to shift. I can feel it, but I can't see it yet. I know that solutions are going to be revealed as I keep moving. There is a certain level of feeling somehow protected or feeling supported by the universe out there, even though I can't see the things physically. And this is a very strange position. So I'm trying to understand where it's coming from, and my conclusion is that I'm actually becoming more optimistic. And this is what I arrived to, is that I would never have called myself optimistic in the past. Maybe realistic, yes, but not optimistic. And I feel for me, I've just like understood that actually optimism is just about, you trust that things are going to happen in a way that serves you, and you trust that you can figure out whatever is coming your way. It's like this sense of abundance, that there are plenty of good things coming, and you will be able to seize the opportunity. And if something is not directly an opportunity, you will be able to deal with it and turn this into an opportunity, or turn this into something that is a lesson that is also basically an opportunity itself. And it feels like a bit woo-woo. If you hear me say that, you're like, okay, she's just talking about the universe. But actually, there is a very interesting shift I feel internally, and I'm trying to put words on it in this video. Maybe you can resonate. Maybe you've also experienced that, or you're trying to get there because you feel like, I would like to stop fighting, and I would like to stop trying to control, and I would like to be able to handle uncertainty in a way that feels more calm, or like more grounded. I can share with you a few things that I think I'm doing that actually brought me to this place where I can call myself an optimistic person. Because I think there are a few bits that I've started training myself, or habits and mindset that I did not realize I was having. Actually, yeah, I believe that that's the reason why why I'm now at this place. So the first thing I noticed is that I changed a lot about how I think about situations. So particularly when it's something tough or something where there is uncertainty, I'm always having a conversation with my brain about my own behaviors, and trying to remind my brain to have confidence in myself. So, for instance, I'm like, okay, have I been in a situation like this before? Did I figure it out? Did I survive? Did I do this every single time? Because now I'm old enough to say, okay, I've been through enough different situations that were challenging, and they told me things. And just looking back at these things, looking at, did I behave the way that I thought was the best? Did I have integrity? Did I make the good decisions? If I did not, how did I respond? Did I learn something? Like everything that I have actually piled up from previous experiences, I'm consciously bringing this back to remember that actually in the past I was in the same situation where it was uncertain and stressful, but I handled it. And I also train my brain to look at what it's focused on, because it's very easy to be focused on problems. I think the brain is naturally trying to help survive, and that means that it's going to look at problems rather than solutions. And it's going to look at like more scarcity, like there is just one way to solve it, rather than thinking abundantly or thinking with more creativity. I think that's the normal way my brain reacts. And I think it's like the same thing for all human beings. It's like your brain just goes in like survival mode, and then you're just like, okay, there is just one way to fix things, or things like that. And I'm now thinking every single time, like, if something happens, it's like, am I thinking from a place of abundance, or am I thinking directly scarcity, problem versus solution, and more options? And I think this training has been already quite good in terms of, if a thought pops up, like how to redirect it. I think it has helped my brain be in a more regular basis, in a more like abundance place, thinking, you know what, I will figure it out, or there will be solutions. So that's been something helpful. And coming with that, I also see that I have developed more like mantras and like sentences that I say to myself, which is not like questioning, it's more like just statement. So for instance, if something doesn't work right now, my brain directly goes, okay, this is redirection. This was not meant to be. There is something else better that's coming your way. You don't see that yet, but it's coming. And it's also like, if something is delayed, there must be a reason. There is something else that you needed to learn before, or because there was a delay that created another option for you, another solution. And I've seen that actually recently in the recent events. I thought I had a solution with an issue with my landlord, and it was more complex than that. And I was disappointed because the thing did not work, but then I could find something else that actually works equally well, or works in a different way. So yeah, it's like I am having this thought and this mantra that I'm repeating to myself, and actually I'm getting the proof right now that things are going exactly like that. So it's kind of reinforcing itself in a way, and I'm also repeating to myself constantly, I trust you, universe. I know that you have my back. I've done my piece of the work. I'm waiting for you to do the next thing. And I'm really like always trying to think that either I get what I want or I get what I need. So every situation like this that is a bit challenging, where I'm like, either I'm still not getting an answer, or I really feel challenged and I feel like, something bad is happening to me, I try to reframe it as like, okay, what am I learning here? Am I getting something that I needed for the next step? And really just trying to have this this is very strange to say, because if you would ask me like when I was younger, are you talking to the universe? I would be like, what the hell? But I feel now it's like it's actually helping me to redirect my brain towards more this abundance. So that's another thing that I do with my brain, which is to to have this mantra, these sentences that I can repeat, and I can just have as anchor. Even at the end of the day, for instance, I had a few rough day recently, and at the end of the day, I'm still doing like a kind of backward processing of the day, and I'm like, thank you, universe, for that day. Today was the day that, and then I just list the thing that happened, and I'm always able to find good things. I'm always able to find lessons. I'm always able to find, or just say, okay, today was a day where I was waiting and I know that there is something else that is going to come. So just trying to find something in the day that was actually powerful, and that simple exercise makes me see actually that even on the worst day, I'm able to just have a kind of different engagement with it. It's like, obviously it wasn't a good day. I'm not pretending it was, because I don't want to be like, pretending to have emotions when it's not correct. I don't want to be somebody who is doing positive thinking, but I'm just acknowledging that there could be more than what I just see. And this exercise is also training the abundance mindset I was talking about. So yeah, training the brain to ask different questions when you look at situations, and also having this kind of mantra I can stick with. That's very, very helpful. I'm also now testing a new thing that is relatively new, but I'm like, maybe that's going to work as well. That's something that I heard from a podcast. So I'm listening to New Mindset Hoodies from Case Kenny, and he's all about optimism in general. And one thing that he said in one of these recent episodes is that he's reframing the scenarios that his brain is creating. So instead of thinking about the worst case scenario, he's bringing it back to the best case scenario by saying simply, of course, it's all going to work. Of course, I'm gonna get the job I wanted, and they are gonna call me back for an interview. This is why I'm recording, by the way, a video right now, is because I'm waiting for an answer for a job interview that I really, really like, and they should tell me today, and I'm really stressed. So I'm like, let me do a video instead of spending my time focusing on the worst case scenario. Um, but it's really that is like the brain is also always looking for what is going to go wrong, or how people are going to disappoint your expectations, or it's always in a more like black and white thinking about, okay, this is what's going to happen, and there is just one possibility. But it's actually more than that. First of all, they can be the worst case scenario, they can be the best case scenario, they can be like the dream case scenario, they can be just like the most realistic scenario, which is actually not as bad as you think it could be. So there are always more scenarios possible, and just having this mindset of course it's all gonna work. I feel it's like also inviting in your life more possibilities for this to happen, and it's really, I found it more, I say that more like easy to be enthusiastic about things. and to be like, you know what, of course it's gonna work. I feel sometimes when I say that, it's like, oh no, it's a bit delusional and I'm just attracting mess because I'm believing in something too much. But one of the things that he said as well in this episode is that you don't want to be disappointed twice. If you if you want something and you're really hopeful towards it and you're really enthusiastic about the possibility that this can happen, you are creating positive emotions. And if it does not, then you will be disappointed. But you will be disappointed one time, and then you will, process it, grieve it, do whatever you need to do, and then you're going to move on. But if you start at the second you say, I really want this thing, but you start like preventing yourself to really feel it, you are already experiencing disappointment. You're already preparing yourself to be disappointed. So you're basically disappointing yourself the first time, and then maybe you're going to get the second disappointment afterwards, the real one that comes to life. And this felt for me that really resonated because it felt really unnecessary. Like, I don't want to disappoint myself. So I just now believe, okay, it's never foolish to feel hope, because I think it triggers, as I was saying, like abundance mindset. It triggers more motivation, more enthusiasm to go out there and try things. And I feel this is a way better place to be in. And it doesn't mean you won't be disappointed, of course, but it's like, it's life. I think it's part of the human experience to also experience disappointments. And I feel this is like this is a good training to also try to practice more hope in general. And I'm also, when I'm saying that, I'm also thinking that I'm also trying to detach from the outcome a little bit more than what I used to do, which is more saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop predicting what scenario is going to happen. This is not my job. I've done the job. For instance, for the job offer I was mentioning, I did the application. I did it to the best of my ability at the time. I gave what I could. Now it's out of my hands. It's not under my control. I can't do anything about it. So I'm done my job. I'm waiting for the next prompt from the universe. Maybe it's an interview, maybe it's not. But that's what is going to guide the next step. And just trying to stop predicting what's going to happen and stop just trying to guess which scenario is going to work. I feel it's very exhausting. I think it's very stressful and unnecessarily stressful. So I'm ditching that as well. But in this process, I also continue to do the work and continue to improve my luck. I was reading earlier this year a book on serendipity and how, sometimes people look at like they are very lucky or good things happen to them, but it's not because they were special people or they are special networks or whatever. It's just because there are people who are continuously planting seed and they are going out there and they are, interacting with the world or with people. And that means that they are planting, possibilities for something else to happen later on that might look completely random, might look like it was luck, but it's just because they were actually in motion. And this is, for me, is also super important, to keep trying things, to keep going at it, even if you don't see the result, just so that you can put something out there that the universe can use for whatever. But I remember, for instance, when I was a coach, I was posting a lot on LinkedIn almost every single day, and it was a bit like shooting in the void, and nothing was happening. I was not getting clients from it until one day, one person I absolutely did not know, that I think like was like 2 or 3 times remote from my network, just saw one post on LinkedIn that I did. She resonated with that. She contacted me, and then we worked together. And it was like just like this this magical experience of, oh, somebody, like what you said, like just really touched someone so bad that they actually want to work with you. At first impression for me was like, ooh, but it's because I was still going out there, still sharing my message and still trying things. And I feel this is important. Sometimes you think like optimism can look like, oh, it's just passive. You just like, you know, talk to the universe, like I was mentioning, but you're just waiting there for things to happen to you. And it's actually more active than that. It's like having this abundance mindset, having this faith and belief that things can happen to you in such a positive way, but also still go out there taking some actions that can actually create the situations and still not trying to control the outcome and so to be not too attached to whatever results you get. I feel this is a very big evolution for me. Just talking about this today, it makes me realize how far I've come from just being somebody who is doing and really pushing and always looking for, okay, I achieved that because of all I did. And now it's more like, I'm going to be there, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to decide what I want, I'm going to focus on solutions, and then the rest is out of my hand. Universe, you are watching over me, do something about it. And I feel this is it's very like strange, strange evolution for me that I also want to celebrate, but I also feel it's way more aligned with who I am right now. It's way more aligned with how I would also like to enjoy my life moving forward. I feel this is a way less fighting and way less heavy on my shoulders, and all this like pressure to achieve and be out there every single freaking day. So yeah, it's a new version of me. As I was saying, as I'm growing older, I'm becoming more optimistic, which is a surprise and a good yeah, I think it's a good aspect to keep with me. And I'm curious to hear as well if you also are becoming more optimistic like this. How do you do it? Do you have techniques? I would like you to share with you in the comments, because I feel it's always interesting to see how people are able to navigate their life with this more like a yeah, grace, detachment, and faith about what's going to happen to them. So if you want to inspire me to do even better, to be even more optimistic, I'm waiting for you in the comments. And if you don't know it, my name is Chloe, and this channel is all about me reviewing all the life lessons, all the habits, all the things that I want to bring with me or leave behind as I'm turning 40, which will happen in 24 days precisely. So if you want to follow along the journey, or if you just yeah, just want to hear different topics that can also help you process your own life transition if you're also in the middle of your life, and you would like to yeah, just have people, normal people like you and me talking about it. Please follow this channel. You can sign up down below, and I see you tomorrow for another video.